Yeah, your descending is not Pisces, and your rising is not Pisces either.
Oh! Hey, everybody. Welcome to Connected Podcast with your host, Kimberly Dam, who I am not. I'm the guest for today, but this is a great podcast, and thank you for joining us. Kimberly, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's so weird having somebody with me, and like on Zoom, I feel very much like out of my element right now.
Are you more of an audio person?
You know, the thing is like when I record, it's just me, right? And I'm just like in front of my computer. And so now it's like really weird because I feel like, oh shit, like now I don't know, it's just different. It's just different. Like the mic is in front of me. I can close my eyes. I can just, go in.
You get enter your own space.
Yeah. I mean, I could put my earbuds in and just sit here and close my eyes and talk to you.
I mean,
it'd be awkward.
You can do whatever you want, you want.
It'd be really, really strange, though. I don't think people would be up for that. But how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I just got done doing some filming, and a busy day, but a great day. Nice and productive.
Yeah. What are you filming?
So my comedy, I don't know what it is now. I guess it's a multimedia production company. We do a podcast, Humor and Mistakes. We have a YouTube channel, s.2 Comedy, and lots of social media stuff. And we're doing comedy stuff for YouTube.
Nice.
That's the short answer. We have a variety of playlists that are different formats of hopefully funny things.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool. So how's your newly found Instagram model status going?
It's going well. I'm still, you know what? Early lesson for me in life was don't compare yourself to others. But I got to tell you, that number of likes, it's getting to me.
Oh, you mean like you're just trying to like climb it? Is that it? You're trying to increase it?
I do. I want more followers. I want more eyes on my abs or lack thereof.
Okay. For those that are listening, let's just give them a little bit of backstory here because they're like, what are you talking about? So for those of you that don't know, Andrew is a comedian, which he was just talking about. And we had a photo shoot a week ago and you came to me saying, what?
Can you make me hot?
Which is ironically not, I've heard that so many times. So when I got that, I was like, this is going to be interesting to see where this goes.
You know what it is. I was just sitting there scrolling through Instagram for the 9 millionth time. And I just noticed for a while that a lot of people are posting thirstier and thirstier pictures as we get further into quarantine.
Yeah. People are feeling lonely.
Feeling lonely? You want a little attention? But I thought it would be hilarious if I did that. Yeah. Because as you've now seen, I have a very pencil-esque body.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like a Slim Jim. I'm not very traditionally whatever. So I thought it would be funny to don a Speedo. And thank you very much for doing all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was a ton of fun. It was quite an adventure, but I cannot tell you how many times, like, it's actually funny because every single time you post a photo, I have like 5 people that I'm supposed to send it to because they're like, I want to see the rest of these. So I'm like, okay, well, I can't send them to you before he posts them. So I'm going to let him send that or him post them and then I'll send them to you. But
that's great. I like that.
Yeah, no, people are loving them. So like, do you put tags? Like, have you tried using tags to get like more likes and follows?
I mean, I've done, not on these current photos now.
Okay.
That whole world of like social media marketing is, I tend to spiral when I get into that. I'm like documenting tags, breaking them down, it's a whole thing.
The whole thing just like pisses me off. Social media marketing just pisses me off. So I just get pissed. I'm just like, whatever.
it
I
can
gave
get
up on it a long
stressful.
time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that negative side. You did an episode of that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which I tried not to make negative, but I was standing in a very particular place you could tell I'm very rooted in my opinion on it. But Gabby was
Yep.
like, she was trying to be like, oh, it's not that bad. I'm like, it's horrible. But yeah.
You had very valid points.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting climate, social media. I always find it difficult. But
I can't wait for the next photo shoot.
Yeah, I can't either. I was actually thinking, I'm like, we should find a lodge and we should just do like the whole bear rug. Oh, I actually thought of another idea that I'll have to share because I don't want to share too many ideas on here. I want the anticipation to build up. But anyway.
Text me afterwards, yes.
Yeah. So would you like to, so Andrew asked me to, we wanted to discuss astrology, which I haven't dived into yet on here, which is quite funny that I've actually not, because I've had an interest in it ever since I was like young. I would say since I was like 12.
How'd you discover it?
Well, my mom, so it's weird because like my mom is just really kind of into like weird stuff. I remember actually, huh?
Is she a Wiccan?
No, she's not. Like, I was raised like First Presbyterian, you know, she's Christian, but she's not like, you know, not like hardcore. But she also just entertains like other avenues, like other spiritual avenues. And it was funny because I remember she took me to this store about an hour and a half away from our house. And, it was just like, it was basically like what you would consider like a metaphysical store. It had like, it didn't have tarot cards, but it had like stones and crystals and, you know, all these like weird astrology books, spiritual books and all that stuff. So I actually did buy a Wiccan book from there and read it. And I was like, this isn't really for me. But I mean, herbalism, I love herbalism, but the rest of it is no. But yeah, as far as like the stars and just like understanding our celestial makeup, I guess is what I'll call it, I've always found it pretty interesting. But I resonate really strongly with mine, so.
Is celestial bodies a term?
Yeah.
Okay. And I know that. That's
yeah, I mean, I consider a celestial body anything that's, you know, anything that's in outer space. So the sun, the moon, the planets, you know, a lot of people, well, maybe not so much. Some people would be like, no, the planets are not a celestial body. And I'm like, but that depends on what your definition of celestial is. So anywho.
So I don't know. For the listeners, I'm completely ignorant.
Yeah. No, it's all good. So when Andrew first, you told me that all you knew was that you were told that your 3, which I'm assuming was your sun, your moon, and your rising was Pisces.
I was told my rising, my sun, and my descending or something like that.
Okay.
It was all Pisces.
Okay. Well, let me check your descending because I'm not so sure about that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I don't know where you got your information.
I'm going to call up my friend on the podcast.
Yeah. Dial that up. Yeah, your descending is not Pisces and your rising is not Pisces either.
Oh!
Now, there are 2 different, there's Western astrology and then there's Vedic. So if they did your Vedic, that may be what they're referring to, but it wouldn't make any sense because you're still off. So usually you're Vedic, like you're one sign behind. So do you want to know like what you are?
Yes.
Which
please,
it was so funny. So I told Andrew that I actually wanted to do this in real time because I wanted the reaction to be more authentic when I saw his chart and because I giggled. The reason why I giggled is because you have a lot of Aries in here, and I'm an Aries. So whenever I see somebody with a lot of Aries, I'm like,
hey, twinsies.
yeah. Yeah, you have a lot of Aries. Your moon, your Mercury, and your Venus are all Aries, which that's some serious like firepower right there. Your sun is obviously
I just went to that I'm your Venus, I'm your fire.
Well, your Venus is in fire, so that makes sense for you. So you should rock that song. Maybe we'll play that song at the next shoot. Maybe it'll get you fired up.
I'm gonna start selling ladies' razors.
There you go. Yeah. So yeah, your sun is in Pisces, your moon is in Aries, and your ascendant, which is your rising, is Aquarius.
Oh.
Not Pisces.
Okay. I'm having a lot of reactions here.
Okay.
To be completely transparent, you're going to need to break this down.
Okay. So basically your sun sign is like how I see how your personality is. It's basically like the way in which it's like your external self. Okay. So it's kind of like the way in which you present yourself to the world. But I'm probably going to say a little bit on the rising side, on the rising. So okay. Like Pisces, do you want the negative aspects or do you want the positive aspects first?
Oh, bad news, good news. Bad news, good news. Bad news. Let's go negative.
Okay. Well, so to me, Pisces, I mean, it's so funny because like when I think of Pisces, I think of like, okay, so I'm an Aries. So when I say this with the best of intentions. So you're like the emotional baby of the zodiac, and I'm like the angry, frustrated baby of the zodiac.
So I'm sensitive.
Yeah. Your emotional waters run way deeper than mine. Mine is like all up in the aggression, and yours is like, I'm going to go pout in the corner until I get my way. And I'm like, well, I'm going to fight you. Like, just fight me.
Oh, you're scary.
Yeah. So
we shouldn't be friends because you're just going to take all my lunch money is what you're saying.
And leave you crying. Yeah. Yeah. But the good thing is that I will completely forget about that experience and just be friends, like best friends with you the next day. And you'll be like, what the fuck is this bitch trying to do? So
I must have, I think I've met a few Aries before.
Yeah. We're very like fast. We're quick to anger, but we're also quick to forgive.
But is being an emotional baby a bad thing?
No, it's not. It just means that like, so your emotions just run deep. Like out of the entire zodiac, I would have to say that yours are probably, I mean, Scorpio is pretty deep, but they're more in like, it's more like Scorpio is deep in the transformational aspect. Like they really like to push things. Pisces is deep in the fantastical way. So like you guys you have a greater tendency towards like kind of being Peter Pan syndrome, like wanting to stay young, but like living in the fantasy.
Oh yeah.
So like you love the idea of like, I just want to, I want to just be young forever. And I just want to live in a fantasy driven world. And I want everybody to deeply understand me without me really having to communicate. And you can get really deep and dark. So listen, this is not your moon sign though. So this is just your sun sign. So those are just like aspects of the sun.
This is just what I project.
This is like aspects of Pisces. And it can be, but because the moon is your emotional aspect. It's actually who you are inside.
Oh, okay. Like the
Yeah.
many faces. Okay.
Yes. Oh yeah, there are so many faces. And honestly, like some of them you're going to resonate with and some of them you're not.
I think Pisces is pretty accurate.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys also like love to have a good time. You kind of like, you just want to like do what you want to do. And you don't really give a shit about like it's not that you don't care what other people think of you, but you're just like, I'm just going to live my life and, fuck off if you don't like it type of thing.
Yeah. I think out of everything you said, I'm most picked up on the Peter Pan thing.
Yep, you just want to disappear off to Neverland and just like have that be it.
Yeah, I'm terrified of aging.
Oh, yeah. The irony in that is that you are the last sign before the zodiac switches over. So the funny thing is that's why you're kind of like the child in you're fearing age because you're like young but old. Because you're the last sign in the zodiac, so you're just like, I fear getting old, but you are old.
I'm like
you just that. Don't have the earth. You don't have the earth element, so it doesn't weigh you down.
Yeah, I'm Cher after all the plastic surgery. Yeah.
Yeah. So your moon is in Aries, so that's your emotional self. So that's kind of like the self you are when nobody is around.
So I'm fiery when I'm alone.
Yeah, you like to kind of do you entertain yourself?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So you'd spend time like probably entertaining yourself, being kind of childlike, being adventurous. But
yeah, I love being alone. I mean, you could do anything what you want when you're alone.
Yeah.
I can yell at the cat.
Yeah.
I could do a Chinese accent without getting in trouble.
Yeah.
I can fart freely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It really is.
You probably like find a lot of humor in yourself, like while you're alone. I don't know. Like I would think that anything that is, because like when I think of Aries, I think of like very childlike and very kind of like you typically like do you find that you communicate your emotions pretty like you don't have to think a lot about it? Do you find
I know personally, I know what I feel.
Okay, right.
I don't know about communication.
Right. Aries typically like, okay, so the mantra, like every single sign has a mantra, and I know what Aries is obviously because I am one. So the Aries mantra is I am. So typically any part of like any planet within the Aries sign is going to be very settled and knowing of itself within whatever that planet represents. So that explains why you would know your emotions because you're in Aries. And so, but do you find that you have an easy time communicating them? And that sometimes like, it's just like, there's no wait time. Like you don't have to think about how you feel.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's because typically like, again, Aries we're kind of like confident. I'm saying this like it sounds arrogant, but we're very sure with who we are. And so we're just kind of like, and we can be very impulsive with our communication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not super, no, I don't communicate. I'm thinking mostly of negative emotions. Positive emotions. Yeah.
Well, that's the Pisces. That's where the Pisces comes in. Cause you're like, you get all like deep and dark and you're just like.
You're real quiet.
Yeah. Pisces can kind of get a little trapped in their emotions.
I'm trapped in a glass case of emotion.
Yeah. Pisces usually are like the ones at the party that like they tend to like, they're like the first ones to usually get wasted, and then they're crying. Like really. Would that be true for you? I'm guessing from your. Okay. Yeah. So to go through all of this, I'm going to just kind of like go through the rest of it kind of quickly. I'm not going to hit every single planet because we'll be here forever. But we'll go to your rising sign, which is Aquarius. So your rising is usually like how you approach life. And honestly, I truthfully love, so I'm hoping this resonates with you, but it's Aquarius, like 0 degrees. So like 0 degrees, 10 minutes. So you may not resonate with this. But so the way that you would approach life would be from a very like, how do I want to say this? Like you just go with the flow. You're very like, you see things from a really, really big picture, and you love like the big picture. You love the big vision. But you're very, like almost like unconventional in the way that you approach life.
I mean, this is a lot of self-reflection. I should have thought about this stuff, huh?
No, because I just got it. How would you have thought about it? So
Yeah,
this is strictly your approach to life.
I would say so, being that I'm trying to, I work and perform in the theater. I think, well, that can be kind of conventional.
Not really. No.
I guess it's pretty normalized for me, but yeah. I mean, I've definitely done some weird things, and
like, have you had a lot of like? I mean, I know you did. Like, have you found that you have no problem kind of traversing like in and out of jobs, or like would you say that you're kind of a chameleon?
Yes,
Okay.
I've been told that before by quite a few people. Typically things like, Andrew, you can talk to anybody about anything. Even though I don't know about, and I've had so many jobs. I almost.
Wait, go ahead.
I was going to put a number on it, but I don't want to do that.
Well, but with your Aquarius family, they would look at that and they'd be like, wow, you've had like 15 jobs. That's amazing. Like Aquariuses love the versatility and the variety, and they love kind of just flowing with life and just kind of taking, just going wherever life basically leads them. They are not conventional. They do not see their career path as like a straight line. They're just like, I'll go here. And then, they just, and then the other aspect of that is they usually are very social. They usually have a lot of friends. They can be slightly, like, unfortunately, Aquariuses kind of have a bad rap for like they don't really have the greatest luck in romantic relationships, because they really do just kind of fall into that. I like to have a lot of friends, and they just are very social creatures. Like they just naturally draw a lot of people to them, and they're unconventional, and you can't really like, they're like a balloon. You can't really pin them down. So they typically don't have the greatest luck with romantic relationships because they are slightly detached in that way. But this is only how you approach life. So this isn't necessarily saying that, you suck at relationships.
I suck in relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, those are like your top 3. So then obviously like you have your Mercury in Aries. So what's funny is the reason why I asked you, so the moon is about your emotions, but Mercury is all about communication. So with your moon in Aries and your Mercury in Aries, you are going to be very blunt and honest in your communication. Like there's just like, that's just it. You can sometimes maybe come off as a little, because Aries, we can kind of come off as a little, almost like a little bit of a know-it-all because we are confident in our communication, but you can also, I think.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Am I a mean girl? Is that what you're saying? I'm a mean girl?
I think like unintentionally, I remember like I had an experience, and this is really hard for me because I'm also like, my moon is in Sagittarius, so I hate hurting people's feelings. And of course I've got the Libra rising. So I'm like all about balance and making amends and all of that. But I think we just can unintentionally, because we're just so quick with our communication, we're quick-witted, we're quick to just communicate, period. And we can say things without necessarily thinking about how they're going to affect another person. So
how many people have you made cry?
I really haven't made that many people cry, but I think it's because of my Libra mind is like, oh, that's where my Miss Justice comes in. But
because I'm getting very blunt, angry baby vibes.
When I'm angry, now see, that is where it does come out. Like when I'm angry, I'm very cutthroat, and I have a very sharp tongue. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm like the woman in the relationship. So this is really bad. And like I'm very aware of it within myself. So like, it is what it is.
You just say some mean stuff.
Yeah, I hate that it can. It just depends on like how much you're pushing me. But yeah. I'm like a word ninja. I come in and I'm just like, and then it usually leaves people shocked and stunned because they're just like, but you're so nice and childlike and and innocent. And I'm like, it pissed me off. I'm not innocent. So
you're a battle rapper. You're great with wordplay. You can rhyme. It's iambic pentameter. It's great.
Yeah, I'm very unsuspectingly. I think that's like the thing. I think people sometimes are like, I didn't expect that from you, like whatsoever. That just scared the shit out of me. Like,
without going into why or when or who, what's the meanest thing you've ever said to a guy?
Oh, that's so unfair. I don't really remember. That's so hard to like plant. I mean, I can tell you what I recently said to a guy that I felt bad about.
Oh, coffee? Oh, wait.
I was like, you're just scared and stuck.
Ooh.
And it's so funny, right? Because I know, like, as a person, like, first of all, no dude likes being told that he's scared or stuck. Like, right? Because guys are all about, like, that, number one, they don't want to be, like, it's like the last thing to tell them that it's like, you're fucking scared, because guys want to be seen as brave and strong. And then I also told him that he was stuck, and, guys are all about achievement and, like, accelerating. And so, or just like, climbing the ladder, I guess. And so that was probably.
Also, he was literally in a bear trap.
Wait, what?
I said, also, he was literally in a bear trap.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're scared of fun. Yeah, that's you just aiming at the insecurity.
I felt bad. Well, but to be fair, like we were talking about things that were in relation to our relationship. And so it was just frustrating. And I hate it because, like, I do really try. And I know there's a lot of people that know me that knows that I really try to be very diplomatic. That's the Libra rising. Like, I really try to be very diplomatic in my delivery.
You're like, we're scared and we're stuck.
Yeah, pretty much. No, I do. I'm like, well, have you thought about it this way? And have you thought about it this way? And then I just get to the point where I'm like, look, like, this is the most blunt way that I can tell you this. But anyway.
It's justified.
It was bad. It was not very good. I regret it, but what are you going to do? So I'm sure that I have said worse things, though. I'm almost positive. I just don't remember them. But yeah, so Venus is in Aries too, which means, Venus is all about love. Like, it's the planet of love. So you might, this is kind of awkward, but you might be drawn to an Aries. Like, when you're attracted to somebody, they might be in Aries, or they might have fire in them. And you kind of like, you kind of like, you love like an Aries would love, which again is very just like, do you rush in? Are you like I call it the fool, but I feel like that's the easiest way to put it. You kind of just like are you always willing to like leap?
We'll say this for the podcast.
No censorship. No censorship. That's not fair.
I could, but very early on in life, I learned not to.
Oh, okay.
Which is why I think we were briefly talking about something when we were doing the photo shoot. And I was like, yeah, I didn't date for most of my 20s.
Yeah.
I mean, I've rushed into other types of relationships, but not that. I don't follow the butterflies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is like the typical kind of Aries lesson is like, we tend to leap. Like, we kind of just want to, because that's just our like nature, is just to go for it and not really think about anything. But it is a lesson that we learn, is that we have to be discerning and we have to think about things. So, which you can tell from the face that I just made. I generally don't like that. I'm just like, whatever. Like, let's just live in the moment.
Oh, I develop very strong and intense crushes. I'll say that.
Okay. Yeah. And that's typically Aries too.
Yeah.
That's typically Aries.
We don't even have to know each other.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. But yeah, I don't, maybe in my youth, actually not even in my youth, but as I get older, you tend to be much smarter about stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then do you find that, like, if the person, like, do you ever find yourself switch baiting?
What?
Like, where you have interest in somebody, and then the minute they show interest in you back, you're like, what the hell? Like, that's over.
Oh, we're getting personal.
It's your birth chart. Yes.
Yeah, but who doesn't?
I mean, well, a lot of people don't, but I think Aries do, because we're kind of like, we like the chase. So we're kind of like, we like to show interest in somebody. I mean, I know men, like you guys are, I know. You're kind of like, this is how we're formatted, and I get it. But like, a lot of people are,
Well, it's also interesting. So there's got to be a distinction between emotionally connecting or socially, whatever connection. And then there's a term that I won't use, but typically after certain activities, you get some clarity.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And is that switch bait? Because then it's like, oh, well, maybe I'm not actually as into you as I thought I was.
Well, so it's because...
That sounds terrible.
No, it doesn't. It's because, because I've had this experience, and I'm not like, it's not like that I'm out like, I'm getting intimate with a lot of people. But I think it's because we are so passionate. And so that passion can burn out really quickly. Like, it's like we burn very hot. And then it's just like, if, we can also find like the tiniest flaw in somebody and just kind of be like, I'm not interested anymore, type of thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm personally capable of overlooking stuff like that. And what typically would happen is I'll burn really hot, and then I will fall into codependency.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ugh.
And I will settle. At least in my younger days, I'd be totally fine settling.
Yeah, yeah.
But not anymore.
Good. That's good.
Oh yeah. Now I'm a whore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's best to know. I mean, at least you're aware.
Oh, I'm planning on chilling out very soon here. But
yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, the thing is like, that's my frustration with people is I'm like, I was actually just talking to somebody today that had thanked me for being very upfront and honest. And that's just all I want. And I find it like, oh, speaking of which, maybe I should touch on this topic, but that's the thing. Like, I get so frustrated because I'm like, just be upfront and honest. Like, just give me the choice. Like, if you just want to have sex, like, just fucking say, like, that's all that I want from this. And at least give me the choice to then, like, take that into consideration. Because I'd be like, okay, give me 24 hours. Let me think about this. Rather than, like, I do need 24 hours. I've learned.
Look, everybody deserves a grace period to reflect. But yeah, I think I've actually was just talking to a friend about that. I don't know. We could totally discuss dating in 2020 or like dating in the modern online dating culture.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people aren't upfront. Like when you have you have that barrier of it being. It's not like you're it's unless it's somebody like a good friend or something.
Mm-hmm. Then
but if you're two complete strangers, there's no risk. Just say what you want. And
right. Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
No, you don't need to be a dick, but you can just sit there and, when you have discovered that that's what you want, you can express that. I think that there's go ahead.
It's not difficult, and it's not difficult to do in a respectable way or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that I kind of feel like I feel like this. Okay. So if you can't articulate that in a way that is clever or witty or just straightforward and like honest, then I look at it from my perspective, from maybe like a female perspective. It's like, if you can't articulate that, then like, I can't even take you seriously. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even, if you can't feel comfortable articulating that and you can't be upfront and honest about it, then honestly, like the chances, like your percentage of me actually acting on that goes way down, because I'm like, you don't even know what the fuck you want. Or if you do, you don't even feel like you can act on it. And then in a sexual stance, what the fuck is our sexual experience going to be like? And like, it's like, if that's what it is, then it's like, okay, well, you don't feel comfortable articulating, and you don't believe that you don't even know what you want, or that you don't feel comfortable articulating what you want. So, okay, so I want to read you something, and it is a meme, and of course it is meant to be funny, but my sister sent me this the other day. And it says, fellas, text her at 11:11 and 4:44. She'll think the universe is showing her a sign. Stay toxic, kings.
Oh man.
So there's like various levels to this, right? But the thing that bothers me the most about it is
would it work on you?
No, it would not work on me. No.
Okay, I thought you were gonna be like, if a guy did that.
No. But what I will say is, I think it has been tried on me. And what I will say is, because I am I think the thing is, though, is it's like, okay, well, you can look at those signs, but then are you not taking into consideration anything else? So like, if you're only taking into consideration that he's texting you at 11 and 11 at 4:44, but yet he's being completely fucking inconsistent, or he's completely only hitting you up, late at night, or he's only, it's like, you're not, like most people, it's like, if a woman is paying that close attention to what time you text her, most likely she's paying attention to other shit too.
Yeah.
But you tell me, because you're younger than I am, do you think that it would work?
Well, one, I think it's extremely, like, even attempting that is manipulative and toxic. But what I respect about it
Of course.
is the last part, stay toxic kings. That is so funny.
Yeah,
obviously not in like a real like
not
way.
in a real
Like
way.
if that was, yeah. But
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
Well, and just the whole, like, to me, the word, the expression, stay toxic
Stay
king.
toxic kings. Yeah. It's funny. I don't know. I'm assuming that was from Twitter.
Yeah, it was from Twitter.
Twitter's gold sometimes.
Right.
It
Well,
really is.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't mad. I'm not mad about it. But what I just thought it was, one, I found it funny. And then two, I was like,
I'm shocked that you think somebody's tried that with you, because I would assume that people don't actually do that.
no, dude, people try everything. Like, it's disgusting. I think it's weird because, no, it really is. It's like the amount of manipulation that I have come across. Like, that's why I'm just like, I'm fed up, and I'm just like, just fucking be honest. Like, I'm honest. Just be fucking honest. But
All right. Well, I don't know. Going back,
manipulation, though, I'm out.
I'm still. I'd say I'm still a baby, because I haven't really been out there like that.
Yeah.
And I've never. I don't know. By the time I actually started to, be more interested and put myself out there, I was already old enough to realize what behaviors were problematic and what I just never would do. I mean, if I was like 17, maybe.
Yeah.
If I was like a jerk in high school, like, do adults actually do that? Come on.
You don't
What are we doing, people?
So wait a second. So this is, we're probably not really going to stay on topic here, but it's okay. I mean, that's what this is about. So this is like a valid question, because I feel that there was a year in which I was basically, I felt very strongly manipulated by two different men, like back to back. But so you don't think there's nobody that would try this? I mean, this is unique. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't think I've experienced. I think it's been tried on me, but do you
it
think
also goes into like, what's manipulation? I don't know. I think I'm naive in a lot of ways.
Okay. Well, that's the Aries.
Yeah. I just, and I do assume the best in people until proven otherwise.
Again, Aries, yeah.
And also all the people who would do that, like, I haven't hung out with since I was 19.
Good for you.
So I just assume that people stop doing that as we get older and like start caring about mortgages and car payments. Like,
true. I mean, I can't imagine anybody over the age of like 30 doing this, but it's just funny because I'm like, I do feel like that I could see some like, I don't know. I could see some people, but I don't know about this.
That guy?
Yeah.
Hey girl, what's up? You wanna go to the club? Huh? You wanna go to the club?
Yeah. Well, I think it's more or less like, right? Because people who aren't upfront and honest typically are not like I said, they're not secure in themselves. They don't feel like that they can they don't feel confident in just asking for what they want. And so that's where they feel the need to manipulate.
Well, I think there's, yes, I agree. And there's also a difference between feeling the confidence to ask for what they want when they know the other. If there's any question of if the other person is interested, there's
Right.
different ways to test the waters without being manipulated.
Right.
But especially once you're already sleeping together, it's, the communication needs to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously. But yeah, I thought that was, I was like,
That's hilarious. That is.
Yeah. Yeah. My sister, she sent it to me and she's like, I thought you'd get a kick out of this. And I was like, only like a pure rookie with like this person. I don't think anybody would fall for that, but it was funny. It was funny.
Man, my sympathies. I wish I had chicks texting me at 11:11 trying to manipulate me into bed. I'd just be like, all you got to do is ask.
Well, so that's my second point, right? It's like, that's a lot of work. Like, why not just be honest? Could you see dudes like setting their fucking alarm on their phone at like 11:11? Oh, I got to text her. Like, it's just a lot of work.
It is. It's completely ridiculous. I don't know. Yeah. Ladies, if you want to sleep with me, just shoot your shot and I'll give you a yes or no. I don't need 24 hours. I need 24 minutes and I'll know what I...
Oh my God, that's fantastic. Okay, so the 24 hours comes from human design, but it's only because it's because I am so impulsive that I'm just like, whatever. And then I make the decision. I'm like, fuck, I didn't want to do this. So I'm like, I'm that person. But yeah, I thought it was quite comical, but I'm so comforted to know that you would never do anything like that. And also that you don't know of anybody that would really go to that extreme to manipulate somebody.
No, that's like really extreme and also really creative. Like if you like, who thought like that person should work for like the CIA or something? Like who thinks of that?
Yeah, I don't know, but who knows?
I'd be like, ooh, now I'm getting curious. Like how far can you take it? What if you go out to dinner at a Chinese restaurant and you have a pre-made Chinese cookie that has like a message that's like, he's the one.
Yeah. A pre-made Chinese cookie I think it's called a fortune cookie, by the way. That's what I think.
Oh, God. No, yeah, sorry.
No, I had to slap. I'm like, you just kind of,
Yeah, I was thinking Chinese food, but a pre-made fortune cookie with like a message.
Yeah.
Like, lay it on him tonight. Or.
Yeah.
Oh, man. How
but no,
far?
you can take it really far.
Yeah.
I mean, you could take her to a restaurant that has like the address is like triple numbers. I mean, you could really.
So, I mean, yeah. See, I don't think of like numerology or anything like that.
Yeah. Well,
but isn't that like all rom-coms too?
Wait, what?
Like in movies, whenever a guy is trying to like impress a girl, there's always this like big elaborate thing that's all planned out. And it's like, oh, wait, it's actually, she's going to find out that like whatever you did to impress her isn't like, that's going to drop off very quickly.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, so that's another thing that like it's really interesting. It's been very, very interesting, like re-entering the dating world. And so what's really comical is when I see I'm going to feel so bad saying this because like, I know like there's a lot of men that really take a lot of pride in the amount of creativity or in the amount of effort that they put into things like sometimes, but I'm just like, it's weird. Like, it just doesn't interest me that much. I feel bad saying that. Like, I'm just like, I don't know.
I think I know what you mean.
Weird going out to dinner. Dinner makes me kind of like, that's too much of a, like, for a first date, that's a little too invested for me.
Yeah. First dates are, I'll say first dates for me are always dinner because I like to keep it classy. But keep in mind, ladies, I eat dinner in the shower. Huh?
Yeah. Well,
Huh?
see, and that's been my problem. I was roped into going into dinner. Well, I wasn't roped into going into dinner, but it was like my first date out of the gate. And he took me out to dinner, and I could just tell. I was like, I felt bad because I wouldn't let him pay for the entire thing. Because I was like, I know where this is going, and I'm not like. So let's answer that. We're just gonna get into like relationships. So let's answer that. So
That's the best part of astrology. It's like I want to know what the stars say I can do in the bedroom and how I can. What's my game like?
Yeah. So let me ask you, if a guy takes you out to dinner and he pays for it.
You lost me.
At where? Like the guy where does that lead for the rest of what expectations?
I think if the guy pays for it, it's a courtesy and that's his decision. He can't expect anything from you. But I also don't think that no party should expect the other party to pay for the meal. Especially these days. Everybody's on hard times. We've all agreed chivalry is dead, and I think every party can enjoy chivalry being dead.
Yeah, that sounded so much like an advertisement, especially during these hard times.
During these hard times, we are all together.
I feel like you're just doing like, no, I feel like, yeah, this is, are you running for governor?
During hard times, we're together and we can go out to eat, but wear a mask. And fellas, yeah, I don't know. I don't like when paying for the meal is expected.
Yeah.
I offer, but every time I am hoping desperately that we are splitting the check.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm cheap. I work in the arts. I'm not made of money, ladies.
Yeah.
I have a big heart.
Yeah.
My wallet's not so big.
Yeah, this is just turning into your personal ad.
Oh yeah, now I'm just advertising for me. But no, a guy shouldn't expect anything. There's no expectations from that.
Right. I mean, that's how I feel. That's just always not what happens though. And so I'm just kind of like, I kind of see it that way too. And I also agree with I actually prefer, like, if we are going to go out to dinner, like, and that is like literally our first time spending time together, like a date, I would prefer to split it because for me, like, I don't know. I just
first date, yeah.
I feel like
date, sure. Fifth date, yeah, maybe I'll do it. You know, once I know that this can go someplace, but I'm not gonna, especially if it's expensive. I'm not gonna like invest money into a stranger.
Yeah. You know, and that's kind of like an interesting. See, I don't necessarily think of it that way, but it's funny because I've heard that. I've heard guys say that. They're like, "Oh, I'm not going to invest money in a stranger." I'm like,
but if I do, you know what I'll expect if I buy dinner? Next time you buy the ice cream cones.
Okay.
And you know, we can trade. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. I don't do dinner dates either. So again, something I don't know. Go to a coffee, get a coffee, go on a walk.
That's how I am because I'm just like, I don't know. I just feel like that there's more pressure with dinner. I feel also that it's like, I feel like it's just like instantly, like it can be instantly romantic. And I'm like, I don't even know if I'm romantically interested in you yet. So I'm not going to do something romantic until I know that I want to be romantic with you. You know what I mean? Like for me, it can kind of be like the setting, especially if it's like a nice dinner. Now, if we're going to, you know, double happiness and we're having a gyoza sampler, then that's one thing. But yeah.
There needs to be tension. There doesn't need to be romance.
Yeah. Your standards are comical. Oh my goodness. Well, that's interesting. It's funny. I feel like everybody has different ideas. around
I
it.
don't know. I'm a baby in the dating world. I really don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, who knows what's going on anymore? I didn't know people were still going on dates.
Yeah. I mean, they are.
You should find like a 22-year-old who would totally just like do whatever you say because you're the bossy baby, right?
Oh, don't they call that a simp?
Oh shit, yeah. I didn't mean to cuss.
I don't want no simp.
You don't want a guy who's gonna just do what you say.
No. I'm a bossy baby. I need a guy to be like, you need to chill the fuck out. That's what I need.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, no. I know. I'm old enough where I'm like, I know who I am. I know what I need. But yeah, it's funny. I've been learning all this terminology because I actually plan on doing a lot more episodes around relationships. And it's so funny because I'm just like, what the fuck is a simp? And like, that's where I discovered the men going their own way and the incels and all that stuff. I was like, oh my God, there's
fun.
all this.
Welcome to the internet, Kimberly.
Yeah. No, it's not the internet though. It's like the internet of like, what is all this terminology that's used around like modern dating?
Oh God, I don't even know either. What are we gonna do?
I don't know. It's insane. Should we explain what a simp? Oh, well, you did. You did explain what a simp is. Because I feel like a lot of people don't know what a simp is. I didn't.
I don't know what the actual definition is. What I think I understand it is any guy who puts women up on a pedestal.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically like works really, really hard to vie for her attention.
Yeah, texting you at 11:11, buying you dinner, showing up with like it's prom.
Yeah. Yeah. Buying her, like spending lots of money on her. Yeah. But it's
you're like, stop trying to clip flowers on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so what planet was that? Venus is
Venus.
Venus. What's your Venus sign?
Mine is Gemini.
That's the twins, right?
Yeah, it makes me, yeah, and it lives to its, I mean, it really is very true with me.
Does that mean twins is in like two different sides, two different people?
Yeah, so, well, for one, because it is Gemini, Gemini is actually the planet that typically, Mercury is ruled by Gemini. So Gemini is about communication. It's very intellectual. So like, what do they call it? A sapiosexual. So basically somebody that has to, like they're attracted to you basically based on conversation and like intellectual conversation.
I see that term thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
I'm straight. I'm like, no, that is definitely me. I am like, I have to be able to have a conversation with somebody to find them even remotely attractive.
Oh, I mean, that's one thing, but not, I always took it to mean like you couldn't be attracted to somebody like you're not attracted to anybody physically.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, because I was like, our smartest people are attracted to people fit. Like Elon Musk still sees boobs and he's like, oh, like it doesn't matter how smart you are, you still appreciate the human body.
Right. Well, and it doesn't mean that like I'm attracted to smart people. It's just that the people that I am attracted to, like I have to be able to intellectually connect with.
Oh, huh. You know? Oh my God. So, like, I might have a sapiosexual coming out party. I don't know. I thought that was everybody.
No. So like I could be talking about cheese.
Yeah.
And as long as that person was like right there with me, like meeting me on the cheese, then
so, like, I know easy cheese is considered like really bad for you, but it is so good.
Yeah.
I mean, just out of the can, right? Oh my God.
Yeah, cheese is just like, yeah. But as long as they're right there, like, I'm just like, okay, yeah, like I can see us having a relationship. So.
Now, is Gemini like two heads or what? Two bodies?
So the tricky part with the Venus in Gemini is that I can also be, and I think this is also where the Aries comes in a little bit too, is that I can be very into somebody 1 minute and then not be the next. And I find myself flipping a lot. So like, I'll be into them and then I'm like, and then I'll be into them and then I'll be like, And so this just happened recently. Like I'm giggling because I just basically called my cousin this afternoon. I was like, I think I just need to not affirmatively decide how I feel
wait a
about
second.
something.
So now you're being indecisive.
So now I'm being indecisive, which is not an Aries trait, but with love it is. It's very like, it's like really hard for me to decide whether or not I find a person attractive or
not. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, yes or no?
No.
Brad Pitt, yes or no?
No.
Damn. I was good. Jimmy Carter, yes or no?
No.
You seem pretty sure of who you're attracted to. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, but that's only physical. You know, it's like I have to take into consideration the intellectual. So it can get, that's where it gets complicated for me. But anyway.
This is irrelevant. Who's your celebrity bone zone crush?
I mean, I kind of live under a rock these days, so.
Under the rock?
I live like under a rock. So it's like, I don't even know like who's fresh, I guess. But like, I like a scruffy Chris Pine. Do you know Chris Pine?
So a not fresh Chris Pine.
Not fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't really like, I don't know, like pretty boys, I guess is what people would call them. I'm not like really into that aesthetic.
Yeah, you like the charisma.
Yeah, and I like them to have a little bit of dirt and scruff on them. Like that's just my preference. But I also, you know, I'm like, if you've lived in the woods for like for a couple of months, like that's pretty hot.
It is great. Have you lived in the woods for a couple months?
I
am not. Oh, okay.
But I'm attracted to that. I'm like, it's just the aesthetic. It's like if you came out of, so like, wait, wasn't there, oh God, you know, like it's like whatever movie there would be of like a guy going off into the woods, like into the wild, like the guy that did that, that's hot to me.
I have some bad news.
What?
He died. I'm sorry to break it to you, Kimberly.
No. Obviously, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, it's just the aesthetic.
I got you. You like a wild man.
Yeah. Because I just want to run beside somebody. Like that's just what I want.
You're a cheetah who likes to run beside her man cheetah.
Yep, that's it. Right there. It's just the cheetahs. But yeah.
Like, babe, do you want to move to the Sahara? I was like, what? We've got 22 months of mortgage to pay. I don't think I was just thinking. Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, I proposed the whole bear rug thing to you. Like, I was like, oh, we got to get. So that's what I wanted to do.
So
I wanted to do the bear rug.
Like 2 birthdays ago, we borrowed a bear rug. It was grizzly for my birthday.
Mm.
So we have all of these like super drunken photos of us with this bear rug.
Yeah.
But I would totally do that again. Yeah. Especially if there's a fireplace with a mantle.
Yeah, well, so I was thinking, I was like, you know, I have been wanting to go out to the mountains. So I'm like, maybe I'll just rent a place and invite some people and we can just shoot.
Yeah, I am so much better at the mountains than the beach.
I know. I could see that you were kind of like out of your element, but It's all right. It's all good. It worked out really well.
Oh, it's great. I loved it. One day I'll learn how to properly stand in the ocean.
Yeah. It's a challenge, even for those of us that are seasoned. Like, it's a challenge. It's always a challenge.
Yeah. Oh, it's so powerful and scary.
It is.
But wait, remind me. So what was my Venus planet?
So your Venus? No, so Venus is the planet.
What was my Venus?
The sign is Aries.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
So, that is how you love, but it could also be who you're, like, the type of people that you're attracted to. They don't necessarily have to be in Aries, but they would have like that. So you want to match, kind of. So, because that's the way that you love, it would be easier for you to find somebody that loves the same way. So kind of like, heart on, like, not, I mean, obviously you've learned not to do that now. So like, kind of like heart on the sleeve, super adventurous, spontaneous, childlike, not, it's not that you avoid, like, it's not that you can't have, it's like that you don't take things too seriously, but that doesn't mean that, like, you avoid the depths of a relationship. I mean, you're a Pisces, so I would assume that you probably, you'd be very comfortable swimming in that.
I've written a love letter or two.
Yeah. That's the thing about you water signs. You guys are always like putting your feelings on paper.
Paper's great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I am going to tell you your Mars. So your Mars is in Gemini, and that's just how you kind of like take action. So you might be slightly wishy-washy. Stop and go.
Mm.
Do you overthink action taking?
I can, but again, I hate flaky people. So if I say I'm going to do something, I don't want to do it, I will still do it.
Okay.
Much to my own chagrin.
Right. Yeah, so it might be that you have a lot of Aries. Like, it doesn't even stop. Yeah, I mean, you got 1, 2, 3.
I'm going to start identifying as an Aries now.
Well, I mean, some people do, especially with their moon sign, because their moon so much is, but you have you got 3 Capricorns, but they're in Uranus and Neptune, North Node.
Oh, it's Uranus? Lame.
That's how I say it.
Lame.
But yeah.
What's Capricorn?
So you have your Uranus is into Capricorn. Neptune is in Capricorn, and your North Node is in Capricorn.
What does Capricorn mean?
So Capricorn, while you're the oldest, so you're the oldest sign in the zodiac, right? But the thing is you're a Pisces. So that's kind of like, it's an oxymoron. It's like 2 polar opposites, because you're very fantasy driven, kind of like childlike, where Capricorn is like what I consider the grandfather of the zodiac, because it is the oldest earth sign of the zodiac, and earth is very rooted and planted, and I'm going to say stagnant, because to me, that is, I mean, I'm in Aries. So to me, Capricorn is stagnant, because I move at the speed of, I move at a very fast speed. So yeah, Capricorn is basically like the grandfather of the zodiac. It can be very kind of just a lot of discipline, a lot of rule, like just a lot of rules.
So it's like, it's the young grandpa.
No, it's the actual. You're the young grandpa. You're the young, like the youth that, like, you're like the forever young grandpa, and the
Oh, kids, let's dance.
Yeah, exactly.
Do the jitterbug. It was popular in my day.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Where like where Capricorn is like the curmudgeon grandfather, like the curmudgeonly grandfather that is yelling at kids for being on their front lawn. Where you would be like, come on, kids, we'll do some weird,
let's cut the entire lawn with scissors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're like, let's have a great time. So, exactly, like Peter Pan,
Oh, that movie still breaks my heart. I cry at movies. So many movies.
Yep, there's that.
Especially kids' movies, but that's interesting. I never knew. I always wondered. It was Capricorn and Taurus. I never heard anything about, so I didn't know what. Do I have any Taurus?
You don't. No.
Nice, because I hate Ford.
Yeah. So Taurus is, just if you want to know about them, Tauruses are, Heather is a Taurus.
So short.
No. No. But
brunette.
Yeah. So Tauruses so basically the way that I look at it is, so like the first 4 signs of the zodiac are children, but in different elemental ways.
Okay, so sun or fire, water, wind, heart. No, wait, no. Earth.
Yeah.
I was going through Captain Planet. All I remember is that one guy going, heart.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And Pisces is like the only exception because it's kind of weird because you guys are the 12th. So it's the 12th sign in the zodiac is like I can't get into it too much, but it's basically like it's literally
We're
like
the improvisers.
Yeah, kind of.
We'll match your energy. Huh?
Yeah.
Is that good? Am I sounding like a professional here?
No, not quite. It's kind of like that, but again, with Vedic astrology, like the Pisces, it's like so in Vedic astrology, Pisces is actually the first. I believe Pisces is the first sign, and then Aries, and then Taurus. And so Tauruses are like, they are far more practical because they've got the earth element, and far more strategic, and they think things through, and they require time to make decisions. But they also love, they're very, because they're earth-based, they're very sensual. And so they love food, and they love luxury, and they love cuddling. And, if you want access to a Taurus, you basically could just cuddle and feed them, and they'd be really happy.
Like a bull. You just go pet. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel bad because I'm really simplifying each sign, and I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for it, but that's basically how I see, Taurus.
No, this is good. You're essentially talking to a second grader.
Yeah. Well,
so I don't know anything. So this is all great. I need all of the simplest terms.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you want to in the future, we can dive into your North Node and your South Node, because that would be really good for us to do, because North Node is usually about your North Node and your midheaven are about your career. And so that might actually be helpful for you, where this is just we're just having fun. But if you want it, or we can just do it separately, I can just tell you about it. But your midheaven and your North Node are about your career and kind of your destiny. So.
Oh my God. You can. Okay. Oh, that's extremely enticing. Tell me my destiny.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that this episode because it'll take forever.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we're going to tease that. But like I said, or if you don't want to do it on a in an episode, I can just tell you, it's deep. It goes in really deep. And obviously with the midheaven, and, I want to make sure that it's advantageous for you. So I will have to kind of, look at that a little bit more closely.
So curious.
Yes, I know. It's going to keep you in suspense. But
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
I know, it's all. So yeah, that's that pretty much. So
all of that was great.
Sometimes it resonates, sometimes it doesn't, but it's a lot of information.
It does. I don't know. I'm trained to yes and, so I don't know how much I was just agreeing with to agree with, and how much I actually saw myself in any of that. But it's all like super interesting. I love that stuff. I've never really read about it or anything, but
yeah,
it's fun to me. I love that.
Yeah.
I'll read a horoscope.
Well, when you told me that you were a Pisces, it didn't actually surprise me that you wanted to know this, because Pisces are typically very intuitive, and they do they like the idea of like that's the thing, like you're really open and fluid with like different ideas.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's narcissism or what, but yeah, I've always enjoyed stuff like this. And so one of my favorite games is picking a television show and deciding which amongst your friend group is which character.
Okay.
So I'm naturally inclined to take whatever you say and be like, yeah, that's me.
Okay. But. Well, that disappoints me, because that basically means that like I could have sat here and told you anything, and my knowledge base really wouldn't have made any difference.
No, it's all extremely interesting.
Okay.
And I really do think I'm surprised by the more. I knew I was more inclined towards emotion, stuff like, not necessarily emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
But I do have lots of strong feelings often. But yeah, I was kind of surprised about like what you were saying about Aries and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, just because your moon is in Aries doesn't, I mean, obviously you have the Pisces, so you're definitely going to have, I mean, I have emotions, but you probably feel them more than I do. Most water signs feel emotions like really, like it can be really intense for them.
Yes.
They get overwhelmed by them easily.
Trying to think, but I think after 3 decades on the earth, I've learned to beat them into submission and force them down to that deep, dark place where they don't come out anymore.
Okay.
And that's also not healthy.
No, it's not.
But yeah, that's all really, I don't know. I'd love to do this. I want to get into it more.
Okay. Well, I think we should definitely do a North Node and a Midheaven. I think that would be fun.
But Midheaven sounds nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's great.
It paints a picture in my mind of just like heaven, but not without all the rules.
Yeah.
Midheaven.
Yeah.
You know, it's not quite as nice, but yeah.
But it's
but there aren't all the lame rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I appreciate you doing it and like taking your time out to do all of this. So
yeah, well, let me know. If you want to get into that North Node and North Node and Midheaven. We can discuss South Node a little bit too, but I think that'll be like really great for everybody listening too, because a
two-parter.
A part 2, yeah. I just feel like that would be really beneficial for everybody, because that to me is like, that's the part of like knowing my birth chart that has really served me the most, is like
that was financial career.
The career and the destiny portion. And when I say destiny, like I'll have to get into a little bit deeper of like what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think that would be excellent. So we'll have to schedule that up. But I'm excited.
That's great. Yeah, I would love to get into Destiny's Child. Hey, Beyonce, hit me up. You hot. But
yeah.
Thank you again for doing this. Super fun. And thanks for the photos.
Yes, it was great having you. Well, yeah, I mean, the photos. That's always a good time. Again, at Andrew Gleason, NC, right? Did I get it right?
That's it. That
Okay.
is it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, as always, thank you so much for listening. I know this has been extremely long, so I appreciate if you've hung in this long. But
if I had a nickel.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, if you have any topics that you would like me to discuss in the future, or if you have any topics that you would like Andrew and I to discuss in the future, feel free to drop me a line at connectedpodcast.us@gmail.com. Thank you always for listening, and I hope you stay connected.